We're going to talk about case trimming a little bit in this video. So a couple of reasons that you need to trim your cases, obviously every time you fire them and then run them through your size die, they grow in length, and if they get too long, the mouth of the case is up too far and it puts tension on your case mouth, and it makes the bullet have more tension coming out, and so pressure can increase, and if you let it go long enough, it'll be hard to chamber. One of the other big reasons that you have to trim your cases is any cases that you're going to crimp, like for revolver rounds especially, but other cases that you might crimp, if the cases aren't uniform in length, then obviously your crimp is not going to be in the same place. So before you load and crimp your cases, if you have them all uniform length, you can set your crimp die and they'll all be crimped in the same place and in the proper place that they need to be. So we have a couple of different crimping tools, or not crimping tools, but trimming tools. And the old Lee tool has a cutter, and then it has a pilot, and it can only go in far enough, and so you put that together and turn it, and it crimps your case or trims your case, and when it gets to the right length, it will stop trimming. So the Lee tool is pretty inexpensive. You also have to have your shell holder. So for pistol cases where you may be going to load quite a bunch of them at a time, you can put them in a cordless drill. Put your case in here, tighten it down. Put your pilot in there and your trimmer, and it's fast. So after they've been trimmed, they also need to be chamfered inside and out. And while it's still chucked up in there, you can take your chamfer tool inside, outside, and it's done. I don't know if we can show the chamfer on that or not. So if you're chamfering with using your drill motor, you don't want to use it too long. You can cut more than you want to, but other than that, it's a really fast way to get through a bunch of cases and get them all trimmed to the same length. And like I said, that way, when they're all the same length, your crimp is all going to be identical. So we'll switch from the Lee tool, which they're very economical. We'll switch over here to the Lyman tool. This tool is just like the ones now that they're still making, but I've had this in a long time. So it's got a shell holder that will adjust to about any shell that you'll encounter, and you just slip it in there, lock it. I don't have this one bolted down, but you turn this and the cutter trims it to the length. So on this end, you have your adjustment for your length, and you'll need a set of dial calipers to use this tool because you have to measure. But once you get it set, then you just put them in there and turn the crank until it quits cutting. This tool comes with different pilots that go right there for your different calibers, and it comes with just about all the pilots a guy would need. Once in a while, if you're into loading odd stuff, you might have to order a different pilot. The other thing that I was going to show you today is if you look at your cases after you've deprimed them, a lot of times you can look down there, and if you got the light just right, or you get a light, and you'll see just a little piece of metal sticking off in there, because they actually punch those holes for your primer, and sometimes it doesn't punch them clean and you've got a jagged edge, or sometimes just a little flap, kind of like a tin can that you didn't cut all the lid and you folded it up. So that affects how the fire from your primer gets into the powder. So they make a little tool, and it looks like a little, kind of like a little drill bit on the end.
Trying to get it to focus. I still want to focus on you. There we go.
Okay.
They're wet. They're wet.
So it looks like a little drill bit, and then it has a tapered stop. And if you put that in there and line it up with the flash hole, and you'll feel it cutting that off, and it makes a nice clean hole. You don't have anything to obstruct your fire from your primer. So if you're developing loads for trying to get the most accurate load, that's a real good tool to have. It's not a real expensive tool either. And clean those.
Who makes that tool?
Pardon, Lyman. This is a Lyman tool.
Yep.
But it's surprising when you get to looking at them how many of the flash holes have little burrs in it. Anyway, this little tool clean them up right fast. It actually has a tapered drill here that cleans up the face of your flash hole, and then the small hole to clean up the rest of the hole. So that's a good little tool if you're wanting to make loads for accuracy. So again, the reason for trimming is for consistency on your crimp, to keep your cases from getting too long, where the bullet is wedged in there. The case is actually wedged up in that throat and putting tension on it. And you can buy, if you're into economy, the little lead tools work just fine. Or if you want to, get more sophisticated, several different models of bench mounted, and now they have some that are even electric, but they're getting pretty expensive. You'd have to load a lot of or trim a lot of cases probably to justify those. So hopefully that'll give you a little insight into trimming cases and why it's necessary.